All right, guys, I just got back from the gym, and today we're going to make Chicago drill. Hello and welcome to BusyWorks Beats.com. I'm running out of breath from the gym. Need you to smash that like button to add more oxygen to my lungs. Today is Nexus Day. I mean Chicago Drill Day. If you guys didn't know, Chicago drill was heavily influenced by Nexus 2 at the time and Gladiator, another plugin. So Nexus has all the sounds you're going to need for this style. You will get the project files for free. I'm going to give you guys the project files. Just go to busyworksbeats.com/FL Studio. Actually, go to busyworksbeats.com/BetterBeatMaker because we have a new course for you guys there on how to make beats. First up is getting the presets. So we're going to copy a couple songs here. This one's called Hands Up Bell 3 and okay, so I don't know all the notes from my typing keyboard, but that's that preset there. I don't like. And then you got No Tomorrow. It's called After Midnight 1, ARP. All right, so these are pretty beautiful sounds, actually. And the next type of sound we're going to go for is like a brass orchestra sound. So for this, back in the day, we would look for the Dance Orchestra Nexus library or any of the Hollywood expansions. Those were like gold back then. So in this one, I'm just using, I forget which one I clicked on. Let's go to like Hollywood 3, for example. And the main thing is to look for orchestra hits. So this is Hollywood 2, actually. You're going to look for these impactful hits. Okay, so you can use any of them. There's no one specific one, but back then our favorite was Dance Orchestra 2. And they had, I think, the Tootie hit, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, here. That was like the go-to sound back then. Okay, so I'm going to use these for now. Ooh, we could layer with that. That sounds hard. Okay, so we're just going to mix and blend. So the drums are going to come down to trap drums. And, you know, the drums you could use, you can modernize the drums. Back then, you want to focus on drums that have the frequencies. Your kicks have frequencies of 60 and 75. You will get the project file, so don't try to memorize this. Let's start with the melody. Now, remember, melody comes in 4 steps. Rhythm, bass layer, or contra melody. Then we have the harmony, and then we have top line. So for this one, we're playing rhythm with arpeggio, and we're playing harmony. Okay, so let's just play a chord in this case. See what chord we're playing here. So we're gonna play E minor. You don't have to play a 7th chord. This is just me playing the notes on my keyboard. So back then, the cool part was that it was like happy sounds, but like hard beats. So that was what made it cool sounding. Now, if you want to create tension to kind of wrap up the chord, we can combine these. And then what we're going to do at the very last thing is just create a suspended chord. So in this case, it's 0, 2, 7, 0, 1, 2, 5, 6, 7. And that creates your suspended chord. And then you can go back into the regular chord like that. All right, let's add the top line, which is this bell. Now, top lines usually go 1 octave higher than your harmony. So in this case, I'm going to use my typing keyboard. Go back. Let's record this. Okay, so I'm going to end those, fix those end notes. And the chords can sound too happy. Okay, so let's see if the suspended chord will sound good here. It's a little too early for a chord change in my opinion, so let's let that ride. So I'm trying to use this half step here from E to F. If it sounds too happy, you could always change out the chord. Now let's add this kind of aggressive sound in here. Okay, so we're playing the root note, the 5th, and then a sharp 5th. Let's do that 4 times and then do dun, oops, which is a sharp tonic, which is so here's where you're gonna start layering those orchestral hits. And again, if you get confused, I'm gonna give you guys the project file, so don't worry about it. Let's go to the dance orchestra. Let's add some impact. Wonder if we could change the speed of this ARP. Let's see if we could change this to 1/32. Now that last chord, I'm going to change that actually, because I did a half step. So we're just going to do a half step chord. Probably going to make this, let's see what chord type, 0, 1, 2, 3. It's getting a little music theory in these, but this is a diminished 7. That's just my musical taste. So now we got to fit our drums in to where they could actually fit. There's a lot going on here. And I think I want to add brass too. So you can see how many layers we have. We have a bell, we have an arpeggio, we have an orchestra hit layer. Now we're going to add brass. So let's try these Hollywood expansions here. Let's go to brass. I thought they had brass or woodwinds. Maybe it's under orchestra. Let me try the other library here. Let me see if they have brass. Here we go. So we're looking for that dark burn type of brass. Boom. We just want like a creepy brass. And this is going to be the contra layer as far as melody. Let's add this in. And then you can do dun, okay? Using a half step, meaning going to the note directly above. Now this one you can double layer, so you can add another octave below. I might change out that chord. Instead of making it a 7th chord, I might just do the octave. That way it's not so playful. There we go. Running on the mall, been riding in the car. Too long been a law. We way above the law. 500 for the squad. We're running with a squad. All right, let's add some more brass in here. 100 with a squad. Hit up, let's hit that down like down. Hit up, that mean that down like. Let's add some bass in here. So we're gonna use a basic sine wave. It's funny how many presets we use from Nexus. I didn't realize we use this many. Let's turn off any reverb. So here we want to just stay at that tonic in a deep octave. And you want to sit around 60 hertz to 75 hertz to make your car rumble. Dun, dun. It's all about half steps. Half steps drive this whole genre. Shout out to DJ L, one of the inventors of Chicago drill. And then you could drop out certain sounds. Let's drop out the ARP. Actually, the ARP kind of is the life of it. Let's take out the bell. So now we got to fit in our drums some type of way. So I'm going to pick some drums. You could spend more time with the drums. I'm just going to show you a simple drum pattern. So it's boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, they really like those kicks on the snare. So it's boom. Let's go all the way back. Boom, 2, 2, 2, 2, boom, boom, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, boom, boom, boom. Okay, so that's where Chicago influenced a lot of the drum patterns we hear in drill. All right, let's find it. So right now, everything's trying to be loud. So let's send everything to the mixer here because everything can't be loud. Let's start turning stuff down. Want that kick to stand out. Doom, doom, doom. Let's find out. We need a snare. Where's our lunch kits? Let me see. If you want the Lunch 77 kits, they're in our Discord. Just go to discord.gg/busyworksbeats. We just need a. So I usually go to Metro's kit for the like snare for the trap stuff. We need a. This could work. Now Chicago made a very important snare. This one right here. So this is like the snare that was the GOAT back then. Everybody was looking for this snare. It's the Kanye snare. On a ham, hard as the who I am. Okay, it's that snare. So you could use that snare. You could use the chop snare. There's no like mandatory snare because now you want to modernize your drums, if anything. Okay, but I don't know where the chop snare would be. Let me see. Chop, 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 chop. Here it is. All right, got it. All right, so the snare is pretty simple. Add it, turn your metronome on, put it on the 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it's on the 3 and the 7. 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And if you want to thicken up the sound, you can layer your snare. I'll bring in that secondary snare over time. So now I have 2 snares. And you could add the little bouncy snares. Boom, cat, cat. So let's add that. And that could be a little bounce. Now you could also add bouncy snares like ta 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 ta. 1, 2. Okay, so you could do 1,000 snare rolls in here. So I'm going to lower the velocity on the second one. Just to keep it bouncing. So you don't want to repeat the snare stuff because it gets a little repetitive. So we're going to create a new pattern here. Now we need some hi-hats. Let's make this stuff red. I'm gonna buy it all tomorrow. You can make the bass do a lot more too. Right now the bass is kind of stable. I just add some hi-hats. So you can use 808s too, but back then the 808s weren't as thick as they are today. So we used a lot of sub bass, simple sine wave sub bass. So it still needs more impact because that kick isn't punching. So let's push the kick a little bit harder. We're going to push into a soft clipper. Here we're getting into mixing. I don't have time to add a verse just yet, but if I have enough time, I'll record a verse and try to add it over top if I have time though. So let's turn stuff down because right now everything's trying to be loud, so it's making it quiet. Let's turn up the kick. Main priority is that kick. Then your bass, then your background stuff. And to make stuff louder, you could pan it out. Kind of feel that jigginess. Pull that hi-hat center. Back then they didn't do hi-hat rolls like that. So here you can kind of thicken up your brass layer by adding more brass. Right now I'm going to keep it simple. So let's make the bass move a little bit more. It's like, that's not the bass. Where's our bass? 6. So here I'm going to make it move a little bit more. So it's hard to hear, so let's pull it up 2 octaves. I feel like that bass is cooler because it bounces a little bit more. But if you think that's too much, you could always go back to just the tonic and then the half step up, which is one note up. Now you could also switch out the sine wave for a triangle wave if you want a little more harmonics. Might be a little bit better for this genre. Okay, so I want the kick to bounce a little bit more. So let's make this unique. So I want to go boom, 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 because it follows the bass. Now for this one, I'm just gonna add little flares here. Let's grab this, hit Alt U to chop up that snare, make it hit in threes. And so now I'm just adding the bounce stuff. 1, 2. So I wanted to go like that. So okay, so I usually leave it in threes. So again, snare rolls are your like main thing that kind of keep the ear engaged. So let's make this unique and let's change something about pattern 9. And I'm gonna glitch this one. Take out the last hit, so it goes. I'm biting on them all. So now it's just about leveling and getting the vocals in there. We don't have vocals, so it's nothing to level yet. I'm gonna turn up my headphones to level a little bit. Man, I got like lyrics for it, but I'm gonna try to hit the booth after I record this. Hopefully I come up with good enough bars. All right, so that is it. You will get the project files for free. Just go to busyworksbeats.com/betterbeatmaker. Thank you for watching. It's Game from busyworksbeats.com.